An eyewitness account of an incident which happened at Tema filling station in August last year may just hold vital clues in the case of the three girls suspected to have been kidnapped in Takoradi. The three reportedly went missing in the Western Region capital weeks ago. One of them as far back as August last year. They are 15-year-old Priscilla Bentum, who was last seen in December last year in Crawford, and 18-year-old Ruth Love Kwasing, who was last seen on December 4, 2018 at BU Junction. The third girl, 21-year-old Priscilla Bentum, who went missing in August last year at Kansarodo, is the one Reverend Robert Nelson Adayi believes he and his driver encountered on August 20 last year. In an interview with Reverend, he recounts the episode he witnessed where a lady who fits the description of Priscilla Bentum called out for help from a Nigerian registered Toyota caravan which had 4 male occupants.
That day, 20th of August, around 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning, I was on my way to Lome for massaging. And when we got to, this is where I normally fill my tank. So we came in and my driver was filling the tank. We had almost finished when this car also came. It was, I couldn't actually identify the car, but I think it's my driver who saw it well.
Okay, we will be speaking with your driver as well when we're done with interviewing you.
Yeah, so what happened was when they came, there was this young lady shouting, "Oh, so it drew my attention, and then I looked at the car. But because I was on my way to go and urinate, I asked my driver and the petrol attendant to interview the people because, you know, these days, this is what I said. So I rushed to go and urinate. By the time I came, they had moved off. So I asked my driver, and he said one of the boys opened the door, and he came out to say that she was her sister, and she was mentally troubled, and they were taking her back home for treatment. But they spoke Twi, actually. That is what and that they were coming from Takoradi, and this is how she was behaving all the way from Takoradi. In fact, I didn't take the story as true.
You didn't believe the story?
I didn't believe the story. But I consoled myself that if it will continue, Chokoli, toll, where they have policemen who have been checking, and then Sugakope is also there. So it is possible they may be able to intervene. And it was a topic I, discussed few minutes as I drove off. And that is how it ended. And so when yesterday, when in the news it was being complained that one of the ladies was kidnapped on the 17th, and somebody said the probability that they might be taking them to Nigeria. My driver heard it, and he rushed to draw my attention. That is how I said, well, let me also bring out this. Maybe it will help in the course of trying to search for them. And what I would suggest is that I know the Nigerian car or any car that crosses our frontier is registered. And so maybe from that time up to about 2 o'clock, it is possible that either at Aflau border or Segbe border, where most often I see the Nigerian small cars and buses, I meet them there. And so probably they will be able to help to identify the car, at least just to know that he carried them to Nigeria. We can't speak for sure that it's a passenger car, because Nigerian number, and they did not also take note whether it was a commercial or private. So this is how it ended.
JoyNews passed on the contact of Reverend Adayi to the police, who have since reached out to him. Accompanying the Reverend that fateful day was his driver, John Ofer, who was a lot closer to the action. He corroborates his boss's account of the encounter.
August 20th anopa be around 10 na ye ba besia ko to nti you do temarana about share ohona na me be pack here ti me be pack here no wie no na se bi na me boss so kwa kogu nsu kakra nti me hwe omo mu fele diesel ne mame enu be 10 minutes kra na no say Nigeria car be pack on side nti o pack here no na me say me gina me pump me car ne ho nti no me ti say car no mu dede oh me pamocho monye me wa omo de me ko me pamocho wa oh monye me oh omo de me ko monye me me sremo a omo kokumi o but ye rashe car no ho ti ye we say ye rashe car no a man ba ko mu a nipa mienu na ti back seat na oba no nipa miensa oba ne timfimfiri na mienu bako na bako na bako ebema bako front ni driver nti ye say nipa 5 nti ye yes apepepe on say oboka na say sliding door ye bie no say
car ben
Toyota ash color say car we sway nti obie ye na pepepe ono nipa na oben o ticket na no ka say bema na ticket na no ka so ni nua ketwa oyare na say ni I say o bodam tin o mokwa kwasa na yare wa Nigeria
o moka akasa ben
ni o kan twi because o ka twi ni tin ma yen so ntin na ma yen ye rashi e ko ho no ti e ko ye koduro na omo bu petrol ni bi e ba ho ma ye nyina be ye nti o mo kan yen no no so onu kra se o mo fi na friends en takrade e no mba be sen akọ Nigeria nti o mo kwakwasa mu nua na yare nti o mo kan se o mo fi takrade ni ene de ya take action bia because so fi takrade na ba dia say police post wo kwan no so bebre nti o mo kan asa no ene ya ba mu boye nti actually ansa na ye te say kwada gas bia yira no ansa na ya adwen ba so say anankrofo yi na da no o mo betwa mu ayantimi anya action bia na ana.
So John Ofe, essentially who's a driver of Reverend Adayi, tells the story and he gives more vivid account of the episode. He talks about the fact that he was standing right there by their vehicle because he was waiting for the vehicle to be refueled. He says whilst waiting there, then the vehicle, a Nigerian registered vehicle, drove into the filling station to park right next to his vehicle, and they were also coming to buy fuel. It says whilst waiting, there were 4 male occupants, in fact 5 people, and 2 of them had sandwiched this lady who we believe, or they believe, to be Priscilla Bentum. They had sandwiched him in the middle, in the back seat, and there were 2 other men, the driver in front and another passenger in front. He says when they got there, then Priscilla Bentum, or this lady who we believe to be Priscilla Bentum, was yelling and calling out for help. And they approached them, but when they approached them, this young man, there was one young man who was sitting right next to the door. He opened it and he told them that the lady is unwell or mentally unstable and that they're sending her to Nigeria and that they were actually coming from Takrady. So that was his account. He said at that point, they felt that, well, they bought into the story and felt that they could go on. But he says later on, when the stories or the footage or the pictures of these ladies started splashing all over the screen, he decided that it struck him that it may just be this girl. And so he called up his boss, who is Reverend Adayi, and his boss also confirmed that it probably may be this lady. Let's listen to the rest of the interview. Inti dabena mu etomo so say bia sa girl na mu hu no August 20 last year no na asem ne yeka no
time almost at my announcement say esin krofo bia yira ega bia yira wo Takrady no sa time no first one e buy no na ma ya adwen ba so say and I get na because again no osu o me pamocho why pamocho munyemi omo de me ko minim ba bia omo de me ko omo kokumi me pamocho and the guy no take gate na no pair ne de ohun say ye nya information no pe no be gate no so e ni nua ketewa na oyare nti omo kosa na yare ono kwa na kasa omo mo ka ni nyina obi ankasa ono kwa na kasa nti okasa wie ya na so okay Say ni nua ketewa na say omu fita krade aba besia ko Nigeria de a na police for kwanso bebre de a zen ye omu fita krade abedu ade and the eden a ga ni be dede wo barrier bi a police betimi ayeden achew ana say ntina maye.
So he goes on to explain further that they thought they would allow the vehicle to go because if they say they're coming all the way from Takrady, there would have been several police checkpoints and barriers that probably should have noticed and maybe red flags raised about this incident, and that if nothing like that happened, then probably they were indeed legit and the story that they were telling was true. But they still also felt that on their journey, in continuing their journey all the way through the Togo border, they would have come across additional police barriers and they would have also picked up what was happening in the vehicle. Let's continue.
Yanko eda ba oto so say ebe sa gewe a wode information no e ma reverend.
Oh, say be say September nimu.
No, won't say you need to.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Kosubio. Inti yen a diane a tall so, or da bend a tall so among who say, Ebia, sa gay ya, musha no ewo, shell has a August last year, no na, yes, a channel.
Near a Thomas and he said, time now, we say, among a friend information nearby, say, I see, Quadabia or Takradi, and Quadabia or Takradino. A honor and mamma green bars say, ana Takradi again of a boy and can't say Ninian Yarina of Takradi, no Babas or the name called Nigeria Kwasani Yarian. And ye be at that day, no, not get no Yari, just a almost need Danny. I want a mamma green here, a basso.
Wait to me, so who a girl no Nymphony. Wait to me, made a Nymphony nature, I'll be to me at Cherry Pacro.
Okay, what the tremor I met me I say or no, senor no so.
So I'm going to show I have a photo of the missing girls. I'm going to show it to the gentleman here and let's see who he points out. Inti Emmanuel Hasino, omoye miensa. Oh, inti pesa o tres omu miensa no, omu nie na hu ye.
We, we.
Ye won finfin Hasino.
No a fair color, kakra.
Fair color. Na ni twin yin so hu na ni twin yin hu.
And the twin yin na so I ball rasta kakra bi. But not the way I not all struggle or car ni munintinu. As I say no share atare I say light black bisa. Top black bisa.
Top black.
Bisa.
All right, that would also be some relevant information if at the time she went missing, if she was wearing that a black top, or probably it's also possible that dress would have been changed and she had been giving something else. But now say, na mo muka ni si ha say no, no mo muka no esi hifa.
Me na me di kan ba pump na no first. On was a pump, a second pump no. Inti me bu Disney wie na me twen me boss no pe na omo so mo ye den omo bae that time no na me trance here because
no into no musi he
no musi me left side
inti che say aha say ya bibia ye gine ya in chen ho no
me were right and omo more left.
All right, so I'd like you to know that Ofer John, when I gave him the opportunity, I showed him the 3 photos. He picked the photo of Priscilla Bentum, who we know has aged 21 and who disappeared, or the last time they saw her was at Kansawurodo in Takrady on August 17. Now, this incident, he tells us, took place on the 20th of August between 9 and 10 a.m. So that's about 3 days after she disappeared. He's giving us some additional information. He talks about the fact that this young lady was wearing a black top. And so that should also give some clues to the police who will be looking for the whereabouts of this young lady. But thank you very much, John Ofe, for sharing this information with us. And I hope you're available.
Well, managers of the Shell filling station confirmed they regularly serve Nigeria-bound vehicles, and though they had CCTV cameras that would have captured events, they explained their storage device is unable to retain footage taking for that long.
Now, one other vital clue for which reason I came here to reenact or retrace the steps of that incident back then in August 20 last year was because I felt that it is most likely that we would have CCTV cameras positioned at this fuel filling station. Indeed, there are CCTV cameras at this fuel filling station, and there's one right there on the extreme right. In fact, there are two or about three of them at that position. And then again, there's another one to this other side of the filling station building itself, the mart itself. Now, I sought to find out from management of the fuel filling station if they indeed record footage from this. They tell me, yes, they do record footage from this, but unfortunately, the material they have, or they don't store that much footage. The footage they have lasts for just about maximum a month, and so they don't have anything that goes back to August 20. They explained to me, because they don't have enough space on the hard drive, the fresh material after a while overwrites whatever old footage they would have stored.
On the screen here, I have the 8th of November 2018, but there's nothing recorded there. Now, the one shown in red, something has been recorded there.
All right.
So let's demonstrate by, see, this is a playback at that time. Let's see if you take this out. It's 1350. That's
150.
150, yeah. This the recording there, which you can expand. I mean, zoom to get this picture.
All right. But you're saying, so essentially, this CCTV, the storage is not enough to last as long as to go back to the August 20 date?
No.
But this is not the only point we can get footage. I'm sure the police have their CCTVs all over the town and all over Accra. And if they decide to diligently go through the footage, given the date, it is likely that we could pick up some additional clues about this incident.
Well, the encounter, if confirmed, will lend credence to an emerging theory that the ladies may have been victims of human trafficking. A lawyer with International Justice Mission, Sama Mankwa, told JoyNews on Thursday the police would have to begin to work with their partner security agencies in the sub-region. Joining us via Skype right now is Adam Bona, a security analyst with Security Warehouse. Thank you, sir. Now, what do you make of this eyewitness account and the possibility that the girls may have been trafficked out of the country?
Well, thank you very much and good evening to your cherished viewers. For now, I would want to say these are information that the police would have to probably collect and work on. Sometimes when these incidents happen, the information is put out there. You know, you have people reporting what they might have seen, what they cited, different dates, and all that, what they've heard. And so it is up to the police to collect all this information, put them together, and see, you know, whether they can make something out of it. I believe that it is better late than never. But I'm also reliably informed, and I am hopeful that the police is almost about unraveling what happened, and these girls were abducted, and probably, if we are fortunate, they will rescue them. And so I want to say every information that is coming needs to be analyzed. But from your reports, the eyewitnesses you spoke to, I want to believe they reported the incident to the police. If they have, they should report to the police, and for the police to probably you know, interview them, interrogate them. What did you see and what didn't you see? But the other about the CCTV hard drive overwriting is simple. If they have a date when the incident happened, we have what we call the recovery softwares. And so every information that hard drive, that went through that hard drive, if that hard drive is not bent, it can be recovered in one piece. And so I don't want to believe that the police should be able to do that. But it might, you know, in doing that, it takes a bit of time to put the hard drive, take it out, and try to, recover recovering lost files. This is something that, be done easily. If they sit on it, I'm sure they should be able to know what happened a particular day, even though when you recover, sometimes you don't get the dates gets to mix up. But I want to believe that the police could do a diligent work if they get hold of hard drive. That there's a way of doing there's a way of doing it, and I'm sure the police understand how this works. And so, if it is true, I believe this will give us some information, which I believe the police have the technical. We should be able to. The police should be able to do this.
All right.
Is right.
Now, one of the other things I believe that the police could also be looking at is the CCTV footage that's available to they themselves, and which CCTV footage I know that we have one, or CCTV camera they have one at the Aflao border, which clearly should be able to tell which vehicles exited the country on August 20 around that time, which information could also be vital.
Exactly. And I know that those CCTVs that are mounted at various points have bigger storage and stored all over. And so once there is a date and a possible approximated time, usually when there is no date and there is no approximated time, it becomes difficult to work with this. But I believe that those who saw something and are reporting, they should get in touch with the police if they haven't done that, so that this story we put together, the police can go back and check on their own CCTV and see what they can find. Probably this story could check out. It might be true. This vehicle which is purported to have kidnapped, probably held this lady hostage as we are driven to Nigeria, probably is back into this country. And so we'll be able to locate it and probably ask the occupants what they did with the lady, if it.
All right, thank you very much, Adam Bona. And just by way of information, I know that the police have reached out to Reverend Adai, and so certainly they are on the beat, and I'm sure they will be meeting him sometime soon. And indeed, when I spoke with them, both Reverend Adai and the driver indicated their willingness to support the police and cooperate with the police in their investigation.